How would you, for someone who is listening to this that knows they've got workloads, they've got applications in the cloud, um, is there a fundamental set of recommendations that you would make, right? What are the most important AWS tools and capabilities that somebody should leverage, right? And how should they be integrated to once they've got these things deployed in ensuring that they've got a cohesive solution to manage security and compliance?
Yep, and I'll take you back to something you said earlier. Like there's a slew of services. I think of it as Lego blocks. AWS just gives you all of these Lego blocks, and you could build whatever you want with it. And what we've learned from our customers is like, while they love that wide ability to be creative and innovate on the platform, for security, they would like some prescriptive guidance, right? And oftentimes, I send customers to start with our security reference architecture. That is a set of prescriptive guidance that we have published out there that kind of gives you like a good starting point. So it's kind of like your quick build with a Lego, so that you actually know what you're doing. So that's a good starting point for anyone who's new and just like trying to figure out like how should I build this? So are we building this the right way, or what's the best practices? The security reference architecture is a good place to start. If you're talking of the services themselves and you want to understand, okay, am I using what is at the fundamental security services? I would say the services you want to turn on the moment you're running AWS is guard duty. That's probably the first thing you want to turn on if you're talking about security, is that you want to have guard duty turned on. Guard duty is the native AWS threat detection service that basically pulls in some of the key logs from AWS and actually gets feeds from our threat intel, both internal and external threat intel, and combines that with machine learning and able to detect threats on your environment. It would also highlight setting configuration that are risky when they do occur. So I would say, without a doubt, you wanna start off with that. Security Hub is probably what I would say our next most important service that you want to turn on is, because Security Hubs enable you to pull all of those alerts and findings from Guard Duty along with all of the other third-party providers you might have for security. So whether it's Tenable or you're using some endpoint protections like CrowdStrike, you're able to pull all of that information as well as the identity side of the house. So whether you have no MFA turned on and misconfigurations. We also have our security benchmarks in Security Up. So there's a bunch of benchmarks in there. If you need to abide by specific compliance area, we have some compliance checks there too. So it's a very good place to start to understand what is my posture looking like when I compare myself to the best practices. Where can I make quick wins on this platform from a security perspective? So I would say those two are probably what everyone should turn on if you're not already using it for security. Those would be the two foundational ones. Everyone at some point has to use IAM, so I'm not going to mention that, but they obviously have to have an identity and you have to manage that well. And then KMS, which is our key management system. I strongly recommend, data protection and encryption in the cloud. Not that we're going to look at your data or anything, but you want to make sure that your data, when it transits and at rest, you're encrypting it and you're managing permissions to those. So definitely Guard Duty and Security Hub, and then after that, you start looking at things like KMS.